And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Streaming with the Mouse. Big one today. Lucasfilm finally did it. They actually gave us something for their show. Big deal, I know. We're going to be breaking down the Kenobi trailer, so get ready, and you're listening to Streaming with the Mouse. And welcome on back, everyone, to episode 119 of Streaming with the Mouse. Today we're going to be breaking down the Kenobi trailer, or more certainly the top 3 things we each liked, and we're going to give ourselves one gripe, even though they don't actually exist. I am Clifton Paul Robinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, my co-pilot, the Baru to my Lard. No, that's a weird one.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
That's a weird one. Let's not. It's already recording. We're going to keep rolling. Cam, how you doing?
Hello, I am doing excellent. Yesterday was a big day. We saw the hello tweet tweet
yes.
from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I was like, oh crap. And then they put the EW magazine cover, and I was like, oh crap. And then they put the stills out, and I was like, oh crap. And then they put the trailer out, and then I said hello there myself, and it's awesome. I'm pumped. I'm so pumped to talk about this, even though it's a quick little trailer. Just nice to see this show exists.
That was a long teaser trailer.
It was good.
I was very impressed.
Yes.
And I found it very funny because I was in a meeting during the time it dropped and not even touching my phone. It was actually an in-person meeting because we have those now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the hell does one of my group chats have 30 messages in the span of 10 minutes? And I'm like, oh my god. I ran up to my desk. I'm like, this is great. I felt like the Kenobi, is the Kenobi trailer coming guy or whatever it was, because he was asleep during it.
Shout out to him.
I'm like, so many of us that were waiting and waiting just happened to be at the most inconvenient time.
And now his watch has ended.
now I think he's the Andor account. So Cam, we're then going to talk about that. We each have 3 things and one gripe. The gripe isn't really even that much of a gripe.
Yeah.
Quick news. You can give me your opinion on this. Disney Plus is expected within the next year. I don't know if it's calendar year or a year, to implement an even cheaper option that includes commercials.
So I have this option for Hulu. I will not do it for Disney Plus. Also, 2 things with that. I have my 3-year membership for Disney Plus with that starting price, I can't do a commercial in the middle of the friggin' Mandalorian. That's just not going to happen.
Or in the middle of you're watching A New Hope and it goes to commercial break. Hulu, it works. I don't watch anything new on Hulu. So right now I'm watching Futurama. I'm just rewatching Futurama. I'm fine having commercial breaks on there. Disney Plus, I want the full thing.
You know what stresses me out a little bit though? Take Mandalorian, the last episode, the last chapter of season 2, right? There's no room for commercial break there.
No.
So do you have to creatively just randomly stop the action and insert it? Or are you ruining the creative process to create spots to put commercials? And that gets me nervous because I don't want this to make the creative suffer. It was awesome.
It's not going to do that. It's what it's going to do is they're just going to do the weird thing and cut mid dialogue.
But that's shitty for the people. I can't imagine.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not actually what they're going to do. There are places where you can cut between a scene. That's fine. They're able to do it for the Star Wars movies.
That's true. That's
fine.
True. Yeah.
So, and the other thing, next week, later in the week, we should be bringing you a Turning Red episode before Moon Knight. And I thought there was one other thing to talk about.
There was a still of...
That's what it was. Go ahead. Take it away.
Pinocchio.
There was a still of
Pinocchio. Or no, Tom Hanks was Geppetto, but Pinocchio. The Pinocchio actually looks pretty good. It's movie accurate. So we'll see how it acts when it's
impressively movie accurate.
I'm excited to see how it works when it's a boy instead of the puppet. So I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see what happens.
Anything better than that TikTok Pinocchio that they had going. But we're going to jump into it. Top 3 things. I really don't know if we're going to have the same 3 things because I think, I mean, we can't be Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're not allowed to do that. Well, it has to be actual. Well, of course, but that's a given.
Okay.
I want some real substance here. I want to be you're grasping for the artistic integrity here.
Okay.
So you can go first. You're number 3.
My number 3 is the music. Does that count? Is that cool?
That was mine.
Okay, you got Battle of the Heroes, you got Duel of the Fates, the two. I'm gonna say it. The second and third most iconic score in music history, in movie
Oh,
history.
wow.
Battle of the Heroes and Duel of Fates. In Duel of Fates being 2, Battle of the Heroes being 3. All like goosebumps. Like it's just how Duel of the Fates played in the Rise of Skywalker trailer, I think, right?
I believe so, yes.
Same thing. Goosebumps hearing that, like, here we go. So that was pretty cool. So hearing that music, knowing this is an Obi-Wan story was so exciting. So like I said, I'm getting giddy about thinking about that music hitting in the start of this trailer of us learning about what the show's going to be about.
Yes, the music set the tone, I think, is something. I think for a long time, a lot of us were having speculation on what is the show actually going to be. And honestly, this show, I was expecting some action. This show seems like it's going to be very high intensity.
Yeah, I agree.
Book of Boba Fett didn't really show that. Right. Mandalorian is definitely much more based on being a Western. This seems like it's going to be a prequel version, just a prequel show for it, which is going to be high action packed and very, very intense.
Yeah,
I really like, and the music adds so much to that.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, that was your number 3, right?
That's so funny. Yes, that is my number. I was like, what am I going to leave with? You know what? Let's go with the music. Let's do it. And I will let you take number 2 as well. Let's see if you can steal. I'll let you go first. All of them. Let's see if you can steal all 3.
All right, my number 2 has to do with seeing the character Obi-Wan, and I know it's a cop out, but I'm going to go a little bit more into it. So, seeing Ewan McGregor in the Obi-Wan costume was so cool. Like that it just, again, we knew we was going to get it, but it was awesome. But then seeing him like watch over, assuming is Luke Skywalker, there's no one else that would be, really cool. And to see that in live action, like, oh wow, like we're getting more Luke Skywalker. He's probably not going to be that big of part of a story, but maybe he is, because maybe part of this is the Grand Inquisitors trying to flush out Jedi, and in this case they're trying to potentially flush out Obi-Wan Kenobi. So like, does Luke get harmed potentially? Like, does that get added to Luke's story and Obi-Wan Kenobi saves him, and maybe some Jedi mind trick makes Luke forget about it? I don't know. But seeing Luke and Obi-Wan in his robes and watching over it and hiding in Tatooine, that got me all excited, because it's here. This thing has been rumored as a movie. It's been rumored as a show. It's been rumored for probably 6-7 years.
Now they're rumoring. Kathleen Kennedy was on record earlier today saying, there are talks about a potential season 2.
If that happens, Cliff, I want it. I want all the Obi-Wan. I want all of it. I know it's selfish of me to say. I know it's not selfish. It's greedy of me to say, give me all the Obi-Wan. I want all of it.
You love saying that. How greedy you are. How all this you are whenever it comes to TV shows. The thing is, this takes place almost probably over a decade before A New Hope.
You have plenty of story to tell.
I am guessing the show only really takes place over maybe a month. I think this is going to be a fast-paced movement show. I hope we see Clone Wars stuff in live action. But that will lead into my number 2, where it is the immersion of Rebels, of Star Wars Rebels, and Fallen Order. The Inquisitor Castle looked incredible in live action. I thought it looked absolutely stunning. We'll talk about the looks later, but also going through it, the new Inquisitor that we have been introduced to, the third sister, we now have confirmation she is the third sister. Mm-hmm. Maybe she's right. I mean, maybe she's doing the right thing. No. There are a lot of people on Twitter very excited about her, but I think she looks terrifying. She looks very strong, very terrifying, and it makes me hope that Trilla's going to be in it. I would really like to see the second and third sister work back and forth, because is it pretty much confirmed that your number as brother or sister, like, is your rank?
I believe so. That's
so like Trilla. We know for now there is no first brother or sister. Obviously, people are thinking the first brother might end up being Starkiller, and that can bring Finn Whitrock into live action as well.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see a power dynamic between the second and third sister, and kind of like the fight for that power, because they're so close to each other in fighting for this spot. Which
Especially like that kind of balances out to like why the Sith have the rule of two kind of thing. Like you don't want all these people together because this is how we get in trouble here.
And if you've ever played Knights of the Old Republic, you know it always goes very poorly whenever they introduce a Sith army, because it's survival of the fittest and I am better than you.
Yes. My number one, I'm just going to continue on with this conversation because mine is the inclusion of Rebels into live action. It's my favorite show. Like I know Clone Wars is probably better. I know it's definitely the most loved is Clone Wars, but Rebels holds such a special place in my heart because I watched Rebels live starting like halfway through season 1. And so that show holds a special place in my heart. The characters do. So seeing, I know people have gripes with this, and we'll talk about it later. Seeing the Grand Inquisitor was so cool. Seeing the Fifth Brother, awesome. I love all these characters. I remember seeing them for the first time and being like, holy crap, wait, time out. There's other people with red lightsabers. Like, are they Sith? And they're not, but they're like, they have the Force and they just are Jedi, like hunters.
They're fallen Jedi.
They're so cool. Like, that's such a cool concept. So I remember like being freaked out whenever I saw that in Rebels. So then you have the Grand Inquisitor coming into live action. You have the Fifth Brother. We have the new third sister, like you said. And I think terrifying is the perfect word for it. And I love that she's terrifying. I'm so excited for her. Yeah, it's cool. It's been cool to see the hype. I think her name is Reva, is what they're calling her. This is the third sister, but she's Reva. She's a human, which I don't think there are any other human Inquisitors.
Trilla.
Sorry, you're right. You're very right. Yeah. But whatever. Live action, we're getting Reva, third sister. Really cool. And let's call a spade here. The best part was that freaking double-bladed red lightsaber spinning around. That was
that's what I want to ask. That's what I want to ask. One question. It was a big issue, and I personally was not a fan of it in the whole concept of it. But do we have to see them fly helicopter style with the lightsaber?
Yeah, you have to.
I think you have to. I think you absolutely have to.
If you don't, it's the most disappointing thing ever.
My number one is the implication.
Okay.
There is a big thing, and I was going back and forth with someone on, not in a bad way, we were talking about it on Twitter, where we actually get to see what causes the rift between Owen Lars and Ben Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
It very much seems like Owen Lars is very much in dad mode, very protective and everything in this. And it would make so much more sense in episode 4 why Kenobi brought the Sith to Tatooine and put Luke's life at risk. And this is the thing where Obi-Wan is someone that has helped everyone his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He loses everything, and the only thing he has left is helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Him helping people in Kenobi is going to put what's the greater good at risk. And so Obi-Wan is going to have to throw away helping everyone, helping the little person, and hold off protecting the one new hope, bad pun, the one new hope to save the galaxy. So that's the thing. That to me is when he's going to lay down. He is no longer Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a general. He helped people. He was a strong Jedi. Ben Kenobi has one mission and one mission only, and it's to protect Luke Skywalker so he can defeat the Empire.
Yeah.
And that, to me, the implication, I never really put it together until I saw the trailer, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like, why? And Owen is going to be like, he's getting a normal life. He gets to do, he's not your next Anakin. He's not the person to fix it.
Right.
But now, one gripe. You can give your gripe or a fake gripe or whatever people are complaining about on Twitter. I kind of agree. Yeah, I do kind of agree. But you can start and we'll go into it.
My one gripe is a stupid gripe. Because it's not really a gripe because I'm fine with it. What a blue ball tease to have that Darth Vader breath, but we don't see Vader in this. But again, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. Selfishly, greedily, I wanted to see Vader so bad. I know we got him in Rogue One, but I wanted to see him so bad, especially knowing that's Hayden in the costume. Like, I'm so excited for that. So I was sad we didn't see that. So that's my gripe. But it's not really a gripe because I'm also glad because I think marketing-wise, I loved that we didn't see Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man in No Way Home. I love that. We all knew it was coming. Yeah. And this one, like, is even further where, like, that one they were lying to us saying, no, but we all knew they were freaking coming. This one, we know he's coming. And I like that we're not seeing him. I like that you will not see him until you get on the show. You people who are not paying for Disney Plus, sucks to be you. Pay for Disney Plus to see this, or you're gonna illegally pirate and stream it.
Yeah, that too.
Don't tell Disney.
That too. I get that. I'm
but,
fine with
but so it's a gripe, quote unquote, air quotes. It's not real. I'm excited that they didn't show up, but also how cool would that have been? Like, the internet was already blowing up. It would have been 20-fold at that point.
We did get the still. We got the still of Vader.
We did. The still looks cool, and I like that still can't see him. It's just like the lights. Oh, that was cool.
Yes. But my number one, my gripe, is, I will say, and it's with a very slight asterisk.
Okay.
The whole thing with the Grand Inquisitor. Let's talk about this just for a quick second. Rupert Friend is a very talented actor. He is also a very good action star. He has a very round face.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Isaacs, who voices the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels, has a very long face, very terrifying aura in general, and also is trained to be an action star as well. He does. Why? Did you not just keep the actor? Dave Filoni, you have done this for everything. Katie Sackhoff, 1-to-1. The only one that didn't really happen was Ashley, but it didn't make sense. This one made more sense than Katie Sackhoff coming back as Bo-Katan.
If I'm being honest with you,
yes, let's hear.
I don't care. I just don't care
either.
It's still cool to see.
I overall don't care, and I'm saying it with an asterisk. They kind of did Rupert Friend dirty because they gave him a horrible camera angle. The camera angle on him was awful. It was like he was looking down, kind of like letting his face round out more with a very awkward up angle. I think they might have done that on purpose. They might not be done with the visual effects on him, but my whole kind of thing is like, yes, Star Wars, it's important to go towards the old school visual effects where everything is real. Everything is real and prosthetic, and people can move the way they're supposed to move. Cast the person then that already almost looks like them and just needs the makeup.
Yeah, I hear you. I get why people have a gripe with it. It's just not something I have a gripe with, I guess. Like, I personally don't care, because I think the way I think about it is, like, the Rebels style of art is kind of out there in some points, because a lot of it's based off of Ralph McQuarrie's artwork. So, like, I think that knowing that it's based off of Ralph McQuarrie's artwork, in that it is a very special stylized art, I can put that separate. Whereas if it was like, I don't know, like Encanto, like if they did a live action Encanto, those characters look like humans, like they look like human being kind of thing. So if like all of a sudden you just got somebody who didn't look like that character, that would be a little off-putting. Like, I can get away with the Grand Inquisitor, who's an alien, not having that like skinny narrow face. I don't care. Like, that's where I can put those two things. But I get, like, you want that accuracy, but like, I don't know, I like the practical effects. So like, I'd be a hypocrite to say I want practical effects. I want practical effects, and then be like, why didn't they do CGI for this? Like, I feel like I'd be a hypocrite for that personally. So like, I'm fine with this.
I'm fine being a hypocrite. I will say, and like I said, I think they did him dirty with the angle. I think the camera angle, they did him very dirty, and I think he's going to look a lot better after we actually see him. Like, those up-close shots, like with Cad Bane, you just don't get the real feel of him.
I also think the acting, once you see him, you're going to forget what the heck he looks like, I think, like, because you're just going to be engrossed in that moment, I think.
But the other thing I'm going to say is, for so long, and I'm still on the train, I hate the Rebels animation. It grew on me. It grew on me more when I was watching it, but I still am not a fan overall. everyone can't stand the animation, and now they're all complaining about it's not a one-to-one comparison.
Correct.
I'm more on the board. My more like non-hypocritical stance is if the voice actor can portray a live-action character,
Sure.
let them do it. That
Right.
makes more sense. They literally designed Katie Sackhoff to be Bo-Katan.
Right.
It makes sense in those situations. And Jason Isaacs, you can kind of get the feel. Like usually you can be like, that's Jason Isaacs because he's terrifying. He's great at being terrifying. He was a great Lucius. He's been in a ton of things. So that's just my thing. I am still gonna I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with it. It's not going to ruin the immersion for me.
I don't
it's
think
not
so.
going to be like the Galactic Cruiser. But anything else to add before we wrap up?
I can't wait for this show, man. I can't
great.
wait. Do you think we get any more teaser for this?
They said we're going to get. I think. Well, that was a teaser trailer. I mean, shouldn't we have a official trailer as well? I probably.
Did they say we're gonna, I could see them just doing a second teaser trailer and being done with it. No full 2-minute nothing.
I think that's what should be given to us on May 4th. That should be.
I like that, and
trailer.
then you got what is it like 3 weeks or whatever until I like that actually a lot, Cliff.
Yep. So that's what I think, but that's it. Quick, short, kind of to the point. Do we ever actually get right to the point? But Cam,
we'll do Seeing Red, Turning Red. What's it called?
Turning Red? Yeah, Turning Red.
Turning Red next week. Another probably quick episode, and then we'll get back to like our normal in-depth. Let's talk about we'll talk about some Moon Knight. But Cliff, you can find me at Cam Ramos 95. On Twitter. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Stream the Mouse. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Streaming with the Mouse. You can find us on your YouTube page, Streaming with the Mouse Podcast. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. Make sure to search for Streaming with the Mouse podcast. Make sure you like, rate, review, 5 stars, all the above to our podcast so more people can watch on YouTube or listen to us on Apple and Spotify. Really help us get some ears on the podcast to help our little thing grow. And Cliff, where can they find you if they want to talk to you about Obi-Wan on Twitter?
You can find me at CP Robinson81. So for Cam Ramos, my name is Cliff from Paul Robinson. See you guys next week for Turning Red. Have a magical day, everyone.